sisters, and welcome to the next episode of Tavern Talk. And we are going to be having a doozy of an episode yet again. No fable yet? Good morning, slept well? That greeting ain't gonna do, Inkeep. Give me your best lines. I'll hear them all today. Top of the morning to you, adventurers. Go on. Peace and contentment be upon you, travellers. Sweet water and good berries, friends? Alright, enough. You seem to be in high spirits. Not often you get the chance to work on the project of a lifetime. I'm glad you're so passionate about this. Hope you didn't give Lynn too hard of a time convincing you. Nah, once I mentioned Dragonfire, it would have been harder to stop her from going on the quest. Was just tough to find her. Didn't take you for a nighttime soup enjoyer. I'm not, usually. I can be persuaded though with the right soup and company. Kyle. I assume your quest for comfort food turned out successful. Not at all. It was thwarted by the shadow of the night. Dearest Rhea promised we shall endeavour to make shortbread another day, when the sun is high in the sky and the stores are open. Oh, Rhea likes shortbread. I'll need to make that sword first though. Did Ceylon update you on what's at stake? Sure did. Those sigils of alcoholic zest won't know what hit them when they see my newly forged weapon. It's sigils of alkahest. Gesundheit. So assume you've worked out a game plan, more or less. Not like we've got a lot of info in that quest of yours. I'm sorry. Aye, you worked with what you had. We'll manage. Though that ever-burning flame of Leviathan sounds more like a myth than something real. Sounds exactly like something you need a mythical weapon capable of saving a world. Ha! Still, are ye sure you're okay reforging your sword for this, Yes. It's the right thing to do. That wasn't what I was asking about. Believe me, I know a thing or two about the importance of an heirloom. It's fine. It's just, I wonder if I'll still feel the same connection to my Baba when I look at the sword afterwards. Eventually, everything she gazed at in life will be gone. Don't you think she'd like looking at the sword of Ceylon the hero? That has quite a wonderful ring to it. I didn't know your grandma, but reforging that sword with Dragonfire to save the world, I think she would have been mighty proud of ye. I think so too. And I'll make sure that weapon is the best anyone's swung this side of the Aether tree. You have a competition to win after all. Exactly. I've been thinking all night about what techniques to use. The design ain't exactly final, but I'll finish it during the trip to the Highlands if I'm fast enough. Rhea, are you doing okay? Yeah, never heard of giving someone time to think. You seem to be putting a lot of pressure on yourself. This can't just be a simple run-of-the-mill weapon, and there's so much to decide before starting the forging process. Hitting, quenching, tapering, and the 5 Varican heat treatment techniques. And the 5 wait, that could actually work. I'm surprised you still remember those. Certainly, you were very passionate about the method. I'm just stoked to get a weapon made by you, Rhea. If it's you, I know my Baba's sword is in good hands. You seem to have the forging part covered. Anything planned for the rest of the quest? Right. Since we don't really know much about who or what might be guarding the flame, we're taking Hex along. Should we encounter any defenses of the magical sort. As for how to get to the Highlands, Clay and Tia couldn't come along, so let's hope Bea is up for helping us with her tree travel thing. Seems like you've got your bases covered. You as the main fighter, Rhea as the crafts master, Hex and Bea as magical support, and Kyle as... I'm afraid I won't be able to fill a role this time, Innkeeper. I tried to distract myself, but the mere thought of dear Evelyn, hurt and alone, or worse, it struck me with a torment strong enough to make even this undead heart bleed with worry. No matter what transpired between us, all I craved was to know about her safe, but to allow my dear friends to march into danger alone was no less distressing. He was almost inconsolable the entire evening. I didn't want to choose one side, only to lose the other forever. That's when I slammed my empty bowl of soup down on the table between us. We weren't gonna go off and die because he took his eyes off us for a few days. And yet, that very fate had struck me several times in the past. I said, well, to it be damned if ye never get to see me master weapon. Doesn't matter if I have to chew my way through that tree myself. Heard the dead have a taste for bark anyways. It was as if those words washed away most of the anguish that was ailing my soul. Surely it was time to believe in the future, and to reconcile with a past I left behind, all for my most cherished people, as long as I didn't forget along the way. But we found a workaround for that. Flashcards. I just need to pull them out and be greeted by the wonderful cards prepared for me by Rhea and Ceylon, even though they may be far from me. That sounds great, Cal. There's one about you as well. I'm honored. Seems like you thought of everything then, hopefully. Some help from your drinks would be mighty appreciated nonetheless. Anything particular in mind? Some fire resistance seems like it would come in pretty handy. That does sound reasonable. We could focus on agility if we're already going that direction. Don't think we want to take whatever traps we run into head on, and add some strength as well for anything we can't avoid. That and the fire resistance should definitely help with forging the weapon as well. Though the ghostberry I brought you yesterday, I wouldn't mind having some invisibility either. It might give us some imaginative ways to deal with whatever challenges we end up facing. Concentrating on intelligence to take full advantage of that sounds like a good option too. Hex would like that, I bet. Knowing him, there's an equal chance of his ideas going right or horribly wrong. If things go south, we'll need the charm to talk our way out of anything. And this way, dear Evelyn will be stunned by my most captivating entrance. Sounds decent. Some intelligence could also help figuring out those techniques you mentioned. And my design, I guess. Alright, Inkeep. Ye look like you're bursting to help us out with this decision. Is it going to be dexterity with some strength as a backup and fire resistance? Or should we approach this with intelligence, a small dose of charisma in case things go really wrong, and some handy invisibility? Well, if you're asking me, this is a tough one. Thinking about this, invisibility could work, but they could also do with fire resistance. How does one do this? So we would even need 3 brain cells and 1 charisma with the infusion of the invisibility, or we would need, oh, how would this work then? Oh, that one could work. Last Whisper? I don't know, I think that's the one. So we are looking at fire resistance. Oh, but, so we're looking for fire resistance. We could also use invisibility. No, I'm going with this. There are a lot of unknown factors here, and talking things out can only work if the other party can talk. Plus, that fire resistance seems crucial. That was a mighty fine drink. I feel like I could forge the weapon in one of Leviathan's volcanoes. And I sure feel a bit calmer knowing I can rely on my strength if it comes down to it. And with that, we're off to the Highlands. Me and Kyle are gonna go grab Hex before I let him go check on his ex-wife. You go get Bea? Sure. Good. Alright, that's it, Inkeep. One last line for good luck. Make it count. Mind the creaky step on your way out. Heh. Fair. Fare thee well, dear innkeeper. Lynn? Kinda weird, isn't it? What is? There's going to be a battle for the fate of the world. But Elfie isn't even here to worry themselves stupid about it. They'd have loved this, I think. Not the impending doom, but all this getting together to defeat evil stuff. Make sure to tell those guys heading to the Twilight Portal to keep an eye out for them. I will. Good. Suppose it's time for me to head out as well. Stay safe, Lynn. Always, Innkeeper. Innkeeper, we have returned. I can see that, Tia. I was awaiting you. Though I'm surprised to see you here, Jade. Yeah. Well, Miss Holier Than Thou dragged me along. Some about finally doing my part. I distinctly remember you expressing open interest in our plight when we were talking to Inako. I believe you asked multiple questions that indicated your desire to help. And I remember asking how much you'd pay, and you said nothing, so I said no thanks. And yet you didn't resist coming along. Do you have a better job lined up, Jade? Not yet. Inako and I are eyeing something, but I guess I've got time to kill. Perhaps Inako can cause chaos on their own then. Unfair. I have to work while they get to have all the fun. Well, excuse me if saving the world has priority over your fun. You're excused. I assume you have written us a quest, Innkeeper. I have. Take a look. Excellent work. I knew we could count on you. Let me have a look at that. We just have to catch the guy at the portal. Seems simple enough. We could even set up an ambush. Or be sneaky if he's already there. You can sneak, big guy? I can do a lot of things. A few years back, I spent time with some lithic panthers who showed me how to sneak up on anybody. I just don't like doing it. It seems a bit rude, you know? No, I don't. But I think this situation calls for a little rudeness. Agreed, it does. And for a little more manpower. I think we're better off without Inako's chaos. But there are plenty of other people available. Hex suggested taking Voy along. He's great at distractions and knows his way around the Twilight Chasm. Should our quest lead into it? Apparently he has family there, though I hope we don't need to disturb them. Anyone else? We considered a whole lot more, but Scully and Grace made a good point. They said not everyone is battle tested, and it'd be reckless to take inexperienced adventurers along. They also said we should look into more backup plans for the backup plan. I think they just wanted an excuse to do some research, and to stay away from the bloodshed. Can't blame them. Melly really wanted to come too, but Dave said no. Is he coming himself? Of course. Made these two ask him before we got here. We need good fighters, and Kid's got some talent. I hope he said goodbye properly this time. Salem made sure he did. Never saw a more terrifying death glare in my whole life. It was very impressive. It was. So, are you finished with your questions? Actually, could you review the plan for me one more time? It's been a long couple of weeks. Sure, so listen up. We make it to the Twilight Portal by the moon pools, and we stop our big bad evil from going through. If we fail that, or he's faster than us, we chase him through the Twilight Chasm and into and we prevent him from getting that fancy axe. And if that fails, well, we stop him at all costs. Sounds like a good plan. While you're at it, will you keep an eye out for Fable for me? Of course. Now, Innkeeper, by the dragons and all that is holy in this world, can we count on your help again? Yes. What do you need? Easy. We just need to be quicker than that maniac. We should be the first to reach the portal, and we should be the first to attack him, all while dodging his counterattacks. Outspeeding him seems like the smartest option here. You're wrong. It is foolish to think his strikes won't be powerful. We need to be well protected against him, so we can take him down before he really hurts any of us. Don't be stupid. If we're fast enough, he won't even get a chance to hurt us. I'd like you to say that again when you're lying in a pool of your own blood. Okay, maybe we need both. It's just the balance that counts. We could focus on a whole lot of defense, but keep some dexterity in our back pocket. And maybe some of those fast infusion thingies could make up the difference. I could hasten you with the golden feathers or saber fangs. Great. Alternatively, you could give us a lot of dexterity instead, with just a little bit of defense on top. And to make sure we don't get hurt, you can give us some of that frost armor Scully says he wants to try out someday. Sure thing. I've got enough frozen pine cones left for that. I don't think Jade and Tia can make a decision without bloodshed, so could you help us? Of course. I know just what to do. I don't. I'm going to say this, it's going to be a no-brainer. And what do we need for this? We need the frost shield infusion frozen pine cones. Alright, so I need to do 1 intelligence, a lot of swiftness, Last whisper. With a slight difference. You can never go wrong with dexterity. Plus, you'll be able to show off your cool frost armor when his blade shatters against it or whatever. I knew you'd make the right choice, Innkeeper. There was no right choice, Jade. You both wanted the same thing in different portions, and you chose the cooler one. Or the more reckless one. I'll wait outside. Catch up with me when you're ready to admit I was right. Alright, Clay. Let's go. Clay? Are you okay? No, I don't think so. Aren't you scared? Of what? All of this. The fate of the world is a very heavy weight to bear, don't you think? What if someone gets hurt and I can't stop it? What if I can't protect you and the others? And the world and the ferrets? Clay, stop, please. For a moment, just stop. Oh no, poor Clay. I know this is scary. Truth be told, I'm scared too. My whole life has been building up to this moment. I've always been told I'm meant to save people, and if I can't, what's the point of me, you know? You are the point. I'm glad you exist, even if you don't save anyone. You're not some mythical savior. You're my friend, and you are mine. And I'm a little less afraid because I have you with me. You have taught me how to value myself as a person, despite all the weight on my shoulders. I wish I could do the same for yourself. Wait a minute, no, that was wrong. I wish you would do the same for yourself. I promise you, together we will get through this. And we will save each other and our friends and the world and all the ferrets. And the innkeeper while we're at it. Thank you. I appreciate being included. Fear is a powerful motivator. Use it. If you're scared, they'll get hurt. Channel all your fear into making sure they don't. So, use my fear for strength. Just like with anger? Exactly. Don't let him use it against you. Strike him down with it. I think I can work with that. Can we still hold hands on the way there so it's a little less scary? Of course. And remember, you can never lose me. Your bracelet will always tell you exactly where I am. And if you get lost somehow, despite your impeccable sense of orientation, mine will help me find you too. You'd just get lost looking. Maybe I'd have to ask Jade for help. I'd do that for you. Thank you, Tia. You're a great best friend. Oh, so are you. Alright then, best bud. Let's do this. Together. Best of luck. We won't need it. I think Tia has a crush on Clay. Grace! You must have made them really good drinks, Innkeeper. I've never seen Clay that determined. I tried my best. I have to say, Grace, I'm surprised you're not accompanying Hex to the ever-burning flame. She didn't want to stop studying magic spells. She thinks they might help us solve all this. I think what might help me right now is a drink. Something that'll get my thoughts flowing gracefully despite all this mess. Give me a moment. A drink for Grace. And she wants intelligence. Feel like something with pure intelligence. You know, let's give her a sparkling nebula. Haven't done one of these in a while. Okay, so there's definitely... Oh, okay. That could work. What about this? Okay, let's go over what we've got and what we... You know what? I want to try these out. I know she doesn't really need invisibility, although that could come in handy. A delicious thought detangler just for you. I don't think I've ever tasted detangler as delicious as this. You've tasted detangler? Millie, would you like a drink as well? No, thank you. I've already had 3 hot chocolates today. I think if any more magic enters my system, I'm going to eat the sun. On to another topic then. I've heard you formed a research team. We did. Obviously Grace and I are the leaders, but we also recruited Scully and Archie. And Una said she wanted to sit with us and crochet while we work. What a great excuse to help. She insists we don't call it helping. Of course she does. Rufus is helping us too. His wool is so soft, it calms everyone down. I wish Dave would join us too. I guess he's busy fighting the mean guy, but he'd promised he'd be back soon, so... And he better keep that promise. What are you looking into anyway? Melly mentioned spells. Are those the ones Hex found in the tower? Yes, those ones exactly. He stayed up all night decoding the formulas, but as soon as he figured out what they were about, he lost interest. So I picked them up. He only managed to save 2 in between the chaos they caused, but 2 very interesting ones. Care to educate me? Which one do you want to hear first? Teleportation or soul binding? Let's do the teleportation. One of the scrolls he found holds a powerful teleportation spell. Now, I fancy myself quite equipped at conjuration magic, but Hex finds it boring. He picked the scroll up because he assumed the golden runes meant it was special. He was right, but I guess it didn't have enough fire for him. How is it special? I think if cast correctly, it could get you anywhere in Asteria with incredible accuracy, even to protect places and other planes, but I'm trying to figure out how to use it without destroying myself. It requires more mana than people usually have in their body, so you think it'd kill its caster? Almost certainly so. It still has a lot of promise. Maybe I can modify it. What about the other scroll? The other scroll? Hex brought home a glass case with a floating scroll inside. After we got it out and removed all the protective runes, he was pretty disappointed. A riddle-locked glass case and protective runes. Seems like someone didn't want it to be used. I'm pretty sure I know why. It describes pulling souls right out of people's bodies and binding them to objects. Completely volatile magic and dangerous, I assume. It's been a little hard to translate. I'm trying to figure out any side effects it may have, so I can convince Hex not to use it whenever he's slightly inconvenienced. Good luck with that. Thank you. I want some magic scrolls of my own to decipher. But first, we need to finish this research. Just because we need to figure out what to do if it's just nice to have something to do is all. Plus, I'll take any excuse to hear more of Scully's Everbloom stories. He's trying to figure out whether we can reverse the sigils. That'll be neat. Maybe you can duct tape them back together. I don't think so.